Hey Book Dragons, welcome back. Today we are talking about Dune. Let's go. So it finally happened, guys. Dune officially released in theaters. And I was there on October 23rd in IMAX with my popcorn ready to see the movie. Now, I talked about having reread Dune in the month of September. Just a fantastic read. It still stands as my favorite sci-fi novel of all time. And I just had a blast rereading it and going through the motions of remembering all the special moments that maybe I'd kind of forgotten about or parts of it that I'd forgotten about. And it was just such a great experience. And then going to see the adaptation of it in the theater, this movie had been really, really hyped up. Like almost overhyped, right? I mean, we constantly were hearing about it. It's all over BookTube. It's all over the internet. This is the quintessential adaptation of Dune, at least as far as we were led to believe. And I'm here to tell you, folks, I couldn't agree more. This movie was so brilliantly and beautifully done. The cinematography and the set pieces, the locales were just breathtaking. I mean, the wide expanses of desert as far as the eye can see, and the way the cameras drew you into the scene as ships were hovering over the dunes and things like that. It was just magnificent. So I was thoroughly impressed with this movie. Denis Villeneuve is a brilliant director. I've only seen one other of his movies so far, and that of course is Blade Runner 2049, which was another just absolutely spectacular movie. So I already knew what to expect from him going into this, but I didn't exactly know what to expect as far as his care with handling the story. And I'll tell you what, I was not disappointed at all. There were some scenes that I would have loved to have had in the movie, and maybe they were filmed and put into the director's cut. Maybe if we get a director's cut, that would be cool, and I would totally own a director's cut of it. But they did not have the dinner scene. If you're familiar with the books, and sorry if this is a spoiler, but at this point, I just kind of want to talk a little bit more in depth and let you know kind of what was left out. There is a dinner scene when Paul and his family first arrive on Arrakis, and where kind of like where they bring in the dignitaries of the area to talk to them and welcome them to their home, and in turn be welcomed to Arrakis by those dignitaries. So there is a dinner that takes place, and that was left out of the movie. And Gurney plays this instrument called the baliset, which was left out of the movie, but I do know that he filmed some scenes where he was at least singing, so I'm assuming that he also was playing a baliset in those scenes that were cut, so maybe those will go into the director's cut. I really hope so, but I thought the movie was handled very, very well, especially compared to other adaptations. Dune is very heavy on inner monologues. And so those are hard to portray. And in the original 1984 movie, you just heard in the background these thoughts going through the characters' heads. and that's pretty accurate to the way the book is, but it doesn't necessarily translate well to the film. So the way they handled it in this movie was keeping the inner monologues out of it, except in the case of certain key phrases and statements from the books. But instead of being inner monologues, they were actually verbalized, and you saw the captions on the screen because they were in the common language of the people. So they had to translate it and they put it in the captions. And I thought that was very, very well done. Fantastically. The actors picked for the movie were just fantastic choices. I was not sure about Jason Momoa as Duncan Idaho at first, but man, I am so sold on Jason Momoa as Duncan Idaho. Oscar Isaac as Duke Leto Atreides was phenomenal. Timothée Chalamet was brilliant as well as Paul Atreides. Rebecca Ferguson as Lady Jessica. Just on and on. There were so many fantastic choices for characters, and I'm just the character that the actor that played Stilgar was brilliant as well. I forget his name now. It'll come to me probably after I'm done filming this, but just again and again, it was fantastic. We didn't see a whole lot of Chani in the movie, but where they ended the movie made sense that we hadn't seen her a whole lot up to that point, except in flashbacks and Paul's dreams, because she doesn't actually physically turn up in the book until about that point where the movie ended. So it made sense. And we're going to see a lot more of her in Dune Part 2, which Dune Part 2 has been officially announced. It is official. We are getting Part 2, and I could not be happier. I was hoping that would be the case, because we cannot leave this story untold. And maybe we'll get Dune Messiah after that. That would be cool. So I'm just gushing and gushing over this. I did a buddy read with Carl from Geek on My Sleeve and Ariel from Reading and Whatnot. We are going to be doing a live stream discussion, spoiler-filled discussion. All bets are off with that. That is hopefully going to be on November 6th, Saturday, November 6th. That is what we are planning on, and we'll talk about the movie there as well, and what we thought of the movie, and just our thoughts on the book, and it'll be a really fun time revisiting the story in a conversation. So, but I will say I highly recommend you go see Dune. See it in the theater if you possibly can. But if you can't, watch it on HBO Max. It's still going to be just as good. But make sure you see this movie. If you are a fan of Dune, this is an absolute must-see for you. If you didn't really care for Dune that much, but you like science fiction, you should definitely check this movie out. You don't have to be a fan of Dune to enjoy the movie. It is just a masterpiece, and I can't even justify it with a star rating because it is far above any star rating that I can possibly give. So I'm just going to leave it there. Go see the movie, read the book, and I am so thrilled and impressed with how well this movie was pulled off. This is the adaptation we all wanted for Dune. Did it have its flaws? Yes. But overall, I think it is the best possible adaptation we could get. So, there you have it. Make sure that you guys are reading more books and go see Dune. I will talk to you later.